Hi, I'm Madison Stewart.
I'm Taryn Lewis.
We're going to begin by telling you a few stories. Alan Northup was a 29-year-old father of 3. As he walked out the door of his home to go play pool one night, he never suspected it would be for the last time. Police walked into the bar that night and arrested him for rape and kidnapping. Northup said, "No, you've got the wrong guy." But even though the victim was blindfolded for most of the attack, the prosecution had a winning argument in court. Northup was sentenced to 23 years in prison. In 2010, just 2 years ago, Northup was released due to evidence revealing his innocence. After 17 years in prison, Northup left prison with less than $2,500 to his name. He owed more than $100,000 in back child support he had been unable to pay while incarcerated. Northup was never compensated by the authorities after his release.
Vincent Moto was a 22-year-old sales representative. Vincent and his girlfriend were walking down the street pushing their baby son in a stroller when their lives changed forever. A woman passed them on the street and identified Moto as being the man who raped her 5 months earlier. Vincent waited for the police to arrive, thinking surely a mistake had been made. But that night, he was in prison. He served 10.5 years in prison and was released after DNA proved his innocence. However, he was convicted in Pennsylvania, one of the 23 U.S. states that does not offer compensation to the wrongly accused. His parents spent their entire retirement fund to pay for lawyers to fight for his release, and Vincent was never compensated.
How would you feel? How would you feel if you had to leave your life behind to serve years in prison without even committing a crime? How would you feel if, when DNA evidence finally exonerated you, you re-entered a world that was completely different from the one you left? A world in which you make thousands of dollars less a year because you have a criminal record. A world in which you have a third chance of losing custody of your children. A world you were sent out into with nothing more than your belongings and a few dollars. I chose this one because it was the topic that I used for my research paper last year as a junior.
And what's your name?
Taryn.
What's your last name?
Lewis.
As far as, kind of the inspiration behind the board here, kind of where did that come from? Where did this creative idea come, the bars in front of that come from?
Madison kind of thought of it. We found the trifold, and we kind of thought it could represent a prison. And then she thought of getting all different kinds of pictures from the website that we found, the innocenceprotectionact.org. And then we just kind of cut them out and pasted all of them. And then the letters her mom came up with.
Sure. Why do you think it's important, and this will go to Madison, to do a senior presentation? What do you think the idea behind this is?
Well, I think this one's important because this is something that's still going on in the world today. I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to because this could happen to anyone. These are people, and we have a section in our presentation about how this relates to Kentucky because Kentucky doesn't have any statutes about the wrongly accused or compensating them. And, all these people inside, our little prison thing are real people who have been served time in prison for crimes that they didn't actually commit. And so, the people just like you and me who are innocent but actually had to serve time in prison. So.
And as far as, doing this, speaking in front of people, kind of just, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think this is a good experience for you guys?
I think it's a great experience because, like me, I hate talking in front of people. So this is a good for college, next year when you have to actually present and stuff in front of people. It's good training, and you get 3 tries, so I'm sure the first time you'll be nervous, but after that it'll ease into it.
This is a picture of a car accident caused by alcohol. Finally, the drinking age should not be lowered because the current drinking age stops the potential early onset diseases caused by earlier drinking. Drinking at an early age can cause diseases that are usually not caught until later in life. Diseases that are left unattended for a long period of time kill people or damage their organs, specifically their liver. Alcohol is found to be one of the 5 most critical factors for global problems of disease according to the WHO Comparative Risk Assessment. These diseases include liver. These are diseases that are
Right. I understand.
Cardiovascular disease. Most of these diseases are life-threatening and hard to tend to take care of. These diseases can put teens in a hardship at an early age. And this is an example of one of the diseases. It's
Cirrhosis.
Yeah, cirrhosis.
That's all right.
And this is a fatty liver. It causes liver enlargement.
Not everyone is religious, but that shouldn't matter. No one's forcing anyone to do anything, and if a student doesn't want to bow their head to pray, then that's okay. That is not their choice and they shouldn't be pressured into doing so. There are over 2,000 types of religions, but only 2 main types of religions in the United States. The 2 most common religions in America are Christianity and Roman Catholicism. Most religions here in the U.S. are based around one person, and that is God. Religion plays a big part in our world's history, along with many great leaders and other specific events. On the dollar bill, there is a religious reference which says, "In God we trust." Many of our world leaders had spiritual beliefs. Also in the Pledge of Allegiance it says, "One nation under God." Another reference referring back to God.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Neil Armstrong was the first man ever to step on the moon. In the Sea of Tranquility, Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins were accompanied. They spent a total of 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 40 seconds on the moon, which is an incredible feat for America to be the first people to ever land on the moon. But if we cut funding to NASA, this won't be possible by American soil to go up there. Recently, we've been having to rely on the ESA and JAXA, which is Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, and the European Space Agency. The third reason why we should not cut funding to NASA is because it is not as expensive as a program as some might expect. Here is the government budget for military and Social Security. It takes up that portion right there. As you can see, the tiny little sliver right there is for the space exploration and NASA funding. Did you know that American taxpayers spend more on going out to eat, recording music?
Can I get you? My name's Joseph. My story is about the Patriot Act, and one of my questions I want to ask you today is, did the Patriot Act, when it happened, did the 9/11 attack, did the attack on 9/11 ever make you think 3 times about our national security? One of the things about the Patriot Act, Osama bin Laden, he was brought to justice on May 2nd, 2011 by Berger. He's one of the world's most wanted terrorists at the time. And, stretches some of the Patriot Act that was added to it was the powers of the federal law enforcement and intelligence specialists. Their powers got built up to strengthen it. Sections of the bill apply to criminal activity. A U.S. Navy veteran, Hoffman, 20 years old, was caught on October 21st trying to reveal classified information on U.S. submarines on how to track them to the Russian Federation.
Why did you pick this topic?
I chose this topic because I feel like it's constitutional. It protects our country, and even if people think that it's unconstitutionally because it doesn't like state specific reasons of exactly what it does, but in our bills and laws, they give an idea to the people of what it's supposed to do. And one of the main focuses on the Patriot Act is it's supposed to protect places and not the people. But one of the founders' key points is that our nation shouldn't lay down this sound and reliable defenses. And from that, we've learned from Pearl Harbor, which we have never forgotten. Berger versus New York, one of the cases, its purpose was to advise the owner of commercial premises that the search must be made, and second, that it must limit the discretion of the expecting officers. Also, the Homestead v. United States. Its purpose was the exclusion of evidence, which should be confined to cases where rights under the Constitution would be violated by admitting it.
talk a little bit. I know you want to go to the Marines, if I'm correct, after high school. Why do you think, as far as giving a presentation like this, public speaking, that kind of thing, how do you think this is going to help you prepare for that?
Well, I think first of all, this is going to benefit me because I'm getting a little bit into more about the law, which is a significant thing. I'll be one step ahead of other people who generally don't know much about it. And also, this could relate to me sometime in the future, since I want to be out in the field and doing such things that the Patriot Act is involved in, such as with drones, and that's what got Bin Laden caught.